previous video I talked about how this might be a punishment from God, a chastisement from God, um, for the sins of the people, for the sins of the world. Like we came to a point. I mean, we killed millions by abortion. We're killing more millions now with euthanasia, wars, and all kinds of um, sexual abuse and depravity and debauchery. I mean, you name it. The war is getting worse and worse, and this might be very be a way of God correcting us, of God talking to us to repent, for us to repent. Now, how can a loving God, as the Christians believe, how can a living God um, do this kind of things, the punishment and chastisements? How can a God that is love do that? No? Many people have this question. Many people exclude the possibility that God can really do this in this way. And I mean, we can I can recall a couple episodes in for example, in the Old Testament, we have God sending brimstone from the heaven to punish the people of Sodom and Gomorrah. We have that episode when the Israelites were in the desert wandering with also with Moses there. There was a there was lots of snakes biting them, and people were dying by the thousands. Then we have like the New Testament. We have, for example, in First Corinthians chapter 11. If we go there to verse 30, we see that the Christians were receiving the Eucharist, not in a worthy way. So they were becoming sick, and some were dying. We see also the episodes in Acts. I think it's chapter 5. I think it's chapter 5 or chapter 9. I'm not sure now. Where Ananias and Sapphira, two Christians that had a dishonest behavior, and Peter confronted them, and the result was death. So, I mean, but we have to be careful on how we say that God is sending this punishment. I mean, this it's a kind of a language that you gotta understand well if it is the case that really this is a divine punishment. You gotta really understand well, because to say that sounds like God is really uh, being being evil in a sense. And I mean, he can really directly intervene in the natural world, or he can just let things unfold and not stop them, right? It might be the case in this one, right? He things unfold. Maybe it was a human mistake in the lab in China, or whatever, in a wild market mistake, whatever. And things developed to the point of today. Um, but I mean, and we gotta also understand that not every illness and death and that is a punishment, right? It's not punishment for sin. It can be, I mean, somebody can get coronavirus and die, but is it really because of their sins or not? We will never know. Like, we never know. So to know these things for sure, 100%, we have to be God, or we have to like have a special revelation from God, really, to assert us that this is really a divine punishment or not, and if it is for sins. So, I mean, listen, a loving father, just like God, a loving father, also have to correct their children. Like, I'm a father too, and sometimes I have to be tough. I have to assert my ways. I have to, sometimes I have to be a little harsh towards my kid, especially my older one. Why? Because of love. Because I love him. I don't want him to behave the way it is he's doing, and the way he is, and to as a way to prevent in the future further damage to him or to others. So out of love, I have to be tough. I have to teach him properly. uh, Sometimes you have no other way than to be a little bit severe, a little bit harsh. So God uses the same method towards us. We're stubborn. Many of us are, have hearts of stones, and the only way to break down it's by being send a little tough love, and that's what God's doing. I think that is what is God doing. So, how can a loving God do that? Absolutely, He can do it, and sometimes it's really necessary for us to repent and to change our ways.